Good evening, I'm Prasad. Usually, Malaysian politics can be rather ugly and the Rakyat just end up being on the losing side. But today we saw political maturity like never before. Pakatan Harapan, Malaysia's largest opposition bloc, signed a historic reform deal with the government today. Pakatan Harapan and the UMNO-led government made history today by signing an agreement called the Memorandum of Understanding on Transformation and Political Stability. The deal was signed between representatives of Harapan and the government at the banquet hall in Parliament this evening. The Memorandum of Understanding covers several areas, namely strengthening of the COVID-19 plan, governance transformation, parliamentary reforms, ensuring judicial independence, the Malaysia Agreement 1963, and the formation of a steering committee. Prime Minister Ismail Sabri Yaakob did not provide details, but the areas covered appear to be an extended version of what he had initially offered the opposition. The government was represented by the Prime Minister and Communications and Multimedia Minister Anwar Musa at the signing ceremony. Pakatan Harapan was represented by PKR President Anwar Ibrahim, PKR Secretary General Saifuddin Nasution, DAP Secretary General Lim Guaneng, DAP National Organising Secretary Anthony Lok, Amanah President Muhammad Sabu, Amanah Deputy President Salahuddin Ayub, UPCO President Wilfred Marias Tangau, and UPCO Deputy President Donald Peter Mojuntin. Ismail Sabri's initial proposed reforms included the tabling of an anti-party hopping law, expediting the lowering of the voting age from 21 to 18, limiting the Prime Minister's term to 10 years, as well as equal treatment of opposition MPs on policy engagement and allocations. Earlier today, Warisan had criticised Pakatan Harapan over what it claimed is the coalition's failure to be inclusive in the formulation of the agreement with the government. Warisan Youth Chief Aziz Jaman said his party was kept in the dark and was only invited during the final stages. He took aim at Pakatan Harapan chairperson Anwar Ibrahim for allegedly not walking the talk on being inclusive of the opposition. Remember how just a few months ago UMNO leaders were throwing around the slogan, "No Anwar, no DAP"? That too appears to be in the past now. UMNO Supreme Council member Muhammad Puat Zakarshi has confirmed that the party no longer uses the "No Anwar, no DAP" slogan. Previously, the slogan about refusing to cooperate with Anwar Ibrahim and DAP was raised by some UMNO leaders during the time when the Pakatan National Government, led by Bersatu President Muhyiddin Yassin, was on the verge of crumbling. Puat said this as the government, led by Prime Minister and UMNO Vice President Ismail Sabri Yaakob, was set to sign a Memorandum of Understanding on bipartisan cooperation with Pakatan Harapan. Puat said the Kerajaan Gagal crisis has led to the historic cooperation between the government and the opposition. He added that DAP and Harapan, especially Anwar, have a big heart. According to him, this is because even though Anwar failed to become the Prime Minister, he was ready to cooperate with the government to cool down political tension for the country's future. Harapan and the government reportedly agreed to sign the MOU, which contains several promised reforms as a step towards a new political landscape for the country. The agreement is expected to bring about the political stability that Ismail Sabri currently needs, as his government has only a slim majority in Dewan Rakyat with 114 members of parliament. The minimum number of MPs needed to form a majority government is 111. Puat said the government, led by UMNO, has also shown its generosity as it is willing to put aside the "No Anwar, no DAP" sentiment to accept terms set by Harapan during negotiations with Putrajaya. So while UMNO and Harapan appear to get along, a leader from Pejuang, the party led by Dr. Mahathir Mohamad, has criticised Harapan's recent behaviour.
Federal Territories Pejuang Chief Khairuddin Abu Hassan has claimed that Pakatan Harapan sidelined the opposition parties in its negotiations with the government on a confidence and supply deal. He said Harapan leaders came to meet Pejuang chairperson Dr. Mahathir Mohamad when they needed support for opposition leader Anwar Ibrahim to be the next Prime Minister. However, Anwar and Harapan leaders sidelined Pejuang, Warisan, and the Malaysian United Democratic Alliance when it was time to negotiate with the government about the list of reforms proposed by the Prime Minister. The opposition had put up a united front to back Anwar, who garnered the support of 105 MPs, but it fell short of UMNO's Ismail Sabri Yaakob's 114. Khairuddin accused Anwar and other Harapan leaders of being untrustworthy. He said they use others to gain support for their interests, nothing more than that. He added that Anwar and Harapan cannot be made friends as they are insincere and individualistic. Khairuddin said Pejuang should proceed with his plans to contest 120 parliamentary seats in the next general election. Harapan and government leaders are expected to ink a Memorandum of Understanding today. The Prime Minister has offered various reforms to the opposition in exchange for support in order to ensure political stability due to his slim majority.
However, according to a Harapan leader, Pejuang was not sidelined and Khairuddin's claims were baseless.
DAP leader Anthony Loke has denied the claim made by Pejuang's Khairuddin Abu Hassan that Pakatan Harapan had sidelined other opposition parties in its negotiations with the government on a confidence and supply deal. The DAP National Organising Secretary described Khairuddin's claim as baseless, citing several meetings between Harapan and other opposition party leaders, including from Pejuang. He said a special briefing was given by Harapan leaders to Pejuang President Mukris Mahathir on the contents of the Memorandum of Understanding. Loke added that representatives from Warisan were also invited to attend the briefing, but they were absent. He explained that Harapan leaders were made to understand that Pejuang and Warisan were not ready to sign the MOU with the government. However, this does not mean Harapan will not cooperate with the two parties on other issues. Khairuddin yesterday accused PKR President Anwar Ibrahim and other Harapan leaders of being untrustworthy.
Parliament opened today with His Majesty welcoming the shift to more mature politics and bipartisanship. The Yang di-Pertuan Agong has welcomed efforts of party leaders in creating bipartisan cooperation in pursuit of building a new political landscape in the country. In his royal address when opening the first meeting of this parliament term today, he said this is the type of maturity the rakyat wants to see from their leaders.
Di sini beta turut menyambut baik dan amat menghargai usaha-usaha ke arah merealisasikan pendekatan baharu kerjasama duipartisan antara semua pihak yang bakal membentuk lanskap politik baharu dan membawa perubahan dalam sistem pentadbiran negara. Kematangan seperti inilah yang didambakan oleh seluruh rakyat beta. Ambillah nasihat pepatah Melayu lama yang berbunyi, biduk lalu kiambang bertaut. Sesungguhnya yang menang tidak menang semua dan yang kalah tidak kalah semua.
Moving forward, he urged everyone to practice a collaborative democracy in finding solutions to any issues. The Agong also reaffirmed that he is satisfied that the 114 MPs who expressed their support for Ismail Sabri as Prime Minister in their declaration letters had done so of their own free will. The King did not mention anything about the vote of confidence in his speech. The COVID-19 situation appears to be improving in the Klang Valley, but the same cannot be said about Sarawak.
The Health Ministry today reported 16,073 new COVID-19 cases in the country. Sarawak, with 3,522 fresh infections, has a higher case count than the entire Klang Valley and neighbouring Negeri Sembilan combined. With vaccination rates above the national level, Klang Valley continues to see a downtrend in new cases and today reported numbers at mid-June levels. As of yesterday, 292 fatalities were recorded, which brings the cumulative death toll to 20,711. However, according to the Health Ministry's COVID Now tracker, out of the 292, only 4 had actually died yesterday. This figure may change as more deaths are identified in the future. According to the actual date of death, the average number of deaths in the last 7 days up to yesterday is 99.
And that is all from me today. For more stories, you can go to KiniTV.com. You can also follow us on Instagram, Twitter, YouTube and Facebook for the latest news updates. If you'd like to support independent media, do consider subscribing to MalaysiaKini.com. I'm Prasad. Thank you for watching.